We declare without equivocation that God the Father and his Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, appeared in person to the boy Joseph Smith. When I was interviewed by Mike Wallace on the 60-Minute program, he asked me if I actually believed that. I replied, "Yes, sir. That's the miracle of it. This is the way I feel about it. Our whole strength rests on the validity of that vision. It either occurred or it did not occur. If it did not, then this work is a fraud."
Travis Wingoodsell. Alright, it's inverted pentagram morning, afternoon. All hell's breaking loose. All hell's breaking loose. Mormons, if the church is true, why do you have to lie about it? Why do you have to commit crimes against other people to cover up and hide the church? You believe the church is true, don't you? Well, why don't you act like it's true? When critics come around and show you how the Book of Mormon can be translated into Egyptian, you're not supposed to attack them and silence them. You're supposed to promote that video and say, "See, world, church is true. Joseph Smith is a translator. Isn't that awesome?" And yet, having done that video, all hell broke loose on YouTube, as that video has been silenced. And so in my rebellious, anti-Mormon, antichrist, apostate, Korahor behavior, I have been putting it at the beginning of every single video since. And wouldn't you know it, the Bill Maher video this morning is a breakout video, even though it used to be normal viewing for low viewing that was suppressed. Don't bleep with me. This is exactly the same kind of treatment I got after deciphering Paleo-Hebrew and confirming Joseph Smith is a translator from the King Follett sermon. He's correct. Elohim does need to be translated plural all the way through. Yes, that destroys the Bible of the biblical Hebrew text created in 800 to 1000 CE. And yes, wouldn't you know it, the Dead Sea Scrolls emerged and they had photos of the papyri, and sure enough, they had Genesis chapter 1. No Baith at the beginning. Even though they tried to cover it up and hide it. Why, Mormons? The scientific evidence supports Joseph Smith, and Mormons want everyone murdered to cover it up. That Joseph Smith has to be a spiritual witch, not a scientific Jew. I will never understand this, except for Mormons are doing it intentionally, knowing the truth and outright denying it. That they are purposely helping the church cover up the truth, to frame and blame Joseph still to this day. That's the only explanation I can come up with that makes any sense. Because for Mormons to attack me that Joseph Smith is true, the Book of Mormon is true, dear God. I mean, maybe that means that Nelson has successfully brainwashed the Mormons into this apocalyptic death cult of evil. And that could also be the case. Could also be the case. Dear God. If the church is true, Mormons would let it stand on its own. They would simply say, hey, here's the Book of Mormon, read it. You'll learn that it's true. The words speak for itself. You wouldn't bias them by telling them it's Christian, it's another testament of Jesus Christ. We're Christian. It says so in the name, in the middle. And so interpret it as Christian. Ignore what it says about being Jewish. And you wouldn't have to tell people, oh, you don't need to really read it. You just need to pray about it and get the right feeling. And now you have truth. Yes, that's why I'm grumpy this morning. Unable to sleep last night because of Belmar's new rules. Drama, drama, drama. God. And so you don't see how the church is using you to commit crimes, to lie and spread the lies. And that is going to crash in on you. Not just for a massive faith crisis when the church says, are you still going to remain loyal? When you now know that your faith crisis means, oh crap. What do I do now? And for many Mormons, they stay loyal and sacrifice their honor and integrity. Just like Avraham Gileadi from September 6th. But the devil never supports his own. The devil is the father of all lies. When you found out the church is lying, you now know they're of the devil. Real simple logic. And yet Mormons will still deny it to their dying breath, or going off to prison. Just like Lori Vallow arguing with the judge. She's guilty of the death penalty. And here she is in full denial that she did anything wrong. Standing up and arguing with the judge. That's Mormons for you. She is pure Danite. What is her maiden name? Is it Vallow? Or is that her married name from the man she murdered, for which she's on trial for? And I think she did get convicted for that, didn't she? Or is that still arguing? I think she got convicted for that. It's like everything is just one day. It's all blurred into one like a dream. Like a dream. And again, I did it for you again with my dream video this morning too. Because of the consequences of being upset by Bill Maher. Consequences. So, also as part of the consequences, YouTube just recommended to me a video by a lady named Jasmine Rapalai. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but she's clearly married. I thought she was an anti-Mormon, antichrist, apostate, korahor, to use the Hebrew feminine singular ending. But then I watched the video, and I went, well, I'm confused. And then she concluded, and I went, oh, God. She tricked people. She's a deceiver. And I was very suspicious, because the title is deceptively worded. I can understand that. You need to get people's attention. But to not be clear in the beginning of where she is and where she stands. But I'm sure she's got a channel and she has other videos, so it's my fault for not checking that first. Because what attracted me to the video was her claim that the church has now approved the revelations of polygamy by John Taylor. And so I knew that she would have no clue about the real church history, that there would be church history errors by her. But oh dear God, I did not know it would be that bad. Oh man. See, I already have it. I've already talked about it on my channel. So I'm well aware of all this. I know the truth. I know the real church history. I've been doing the videos for you. But for this little girl who's been obedient to get married young, Brigham Young University. Good girl, good girl. To be that stupid. Let me give you examples rather than just saying it. She highlighted his statement about the revelation of the new and everlasting covenant. He did not put marriage, he did not put polygamy. She also correctly acknowledged that John Taylor wrote this while on the run from the law. But she was wrong to call him the president of the church, and wrong to claim that the everlasting covenant was too broad, could be anything. Oh my God. So again, I get to bring it out because I brought it out in the first video, or the previous video about the dream. Doctrine and Covenants, section 1, verses 14, 15, and 16. 14 is a reference to the coming of the man like Moses, who's the Jewish Christ. Verse 15, for Mormons have strayed from mine ordinances. Nevermores do not make the covenant for the ordinances of baptism in the temple. Only Mormons. And so only Mormons can stray from them. This is real simple English and English comprehension. Despite the pronouns, and have broken mine everlasting covenant in the context of temple ordinances. It's obviously marriage. And so Brigham Young, knowing this, laid the trap. And so what this Jasmine does not know, she never references the Joseph Smith papers. She probably doesn't even know they exist. I'd have to check her other videos, see if she ever does refer to them. She should have for this video. But she didn't. Instead, she referred to the Saints volumes, where the church snuck it in. Hey, didn't I just do a video with a meme about the Saturday's Warrior Princess? Or no, that was another video. Hiding secrets in manuals. That was the hater video. White supremacist, Christian nationalist hater video. Oh dear God. But yeah, that's been the running joke since I was a kid. Being told, want to keep something a secret from the Mormons? Publish it in a manual. Mormons won't read their scriptures, let alone manuals. And so Benson comes out as the president in '86 and condemns Mormons for not reading and studying their Book of Mormon. And so I've shown you the picture of me back in junior high, I think it was, because I had the mustache. That would have been junior high. Standing behind drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, Lynette Imus. Got her. And that was the photo that was taken of those who, the whole seminary decided to let Benson know the youth are obedient, and put out independently of Benson, because of his conference talk, to have every single seminary class be challenged. You know, those were the early Tide Pod challenges, the pre-Tide Pod challenges, to read the Book of Mormon from cover to cover, and then to notify the seminary teacher before the deadline so that you can have your picture taken and be sent with a letter to Benson that you're faithful. Notice the guys from my ward, and some from the Corona ward, from the Corona High ward, because we attended the Corona High Stake Center across the street for the seminary building. We're not there. Right, Keith? Wayne? Others. Yeah. See, Lynette was the only one from my ward at that Corona building before it then split off, and then Lynette stayed at the Corona ward. And I gave my mission farewell at the Norco ward. Went to Rick's and came back, and my ward changed, and so nobody knew me. And it was the Mother's Day thing as well. And the bishop told me, I don't like interfering with Mother's Day sacrament. But since you're rushing this, we're making the exception. Yeah, I did not want to live with my parents anymore. They made it clear they don't love me. And so get me the hell away. Anyway, section 131. She has no clue that this is in the Joseph Smith Papers. Section 132 is not. Section 131 is Joseph Smith talking with Benjamin Franklin Johnson and what Joseph Smith knew to be his one and only one wife. Because it's very obvious in the full text. If you're unclear about Benjamin Franklin Johnson, and you've missed those videos of mine talking about him, doing the church history videos on him, he's the one who joined the Danites in 1838. He's the enemy, a true Mormon. And so, this first part, until verse 5, is in there. In the celestial glory, there are 3 heavens or degrees. And in order to obtain the highest, a man, and he's talking to Benjamin Franklin Johnson, must enter into this order of the priesthood, brackets, meaning the new and everlasting covenant of marriage. He says monogamy. he still had in his 1835 Doctrine and Covenants the chapter on monogamy, condemning polygamy. That is in the Joseph Smith Papers. Joseph knows what he means by everlasting covenant of marriage. This is what he's referring to. The everlasting covenant for baptism for the ordinances of the temple? Yeah, it's all for marriage. I think as a married woman in the church, she'd know. She don't. But the monogamy part was taken out. Notice the brackets does not say whether monogamy or polygamy is intended. But then Brigham Young, that same year when he put section 131 in, gutting it, also put in his written, typed, they don't have the written document, because then you might find out it's not from the actual author that they intended it to be. Technically scribed for Joseph. And so all you have is the typed 1876 Doctrine and Covenants, where section 132 magically appears. And I will just read it, because Mormons won't. They'll read the part where it says you can commit any crime and sin you want, and you'll still go to the highest degree of the celestial kingdom. They'll believe when other people tell them that Joseph Smith ordered Emma to allow 10 child bride virgins or she's going to be destroyed. But I'm willing to bet that Nelson in his April conference, quoting from this, I think it was April, wasn't it, or was it another conference where he quotes it, will have no clue that it came from section 132. Because Mormons won't read. So, verily, thus saith the Lord unto you, my servant Joseph. Really, at 1843, he's now calling him a servant still, huh? There's a Mormon who did a study on this, and I think it was even covered in conference by an apostle or a 70, in which they point out that the Lord changes towards Joseph as he's growing and developing as the president of the church. Oops, somebody dropped the ball on that. That inasmuch as you have inquired of my hand to know and understand wherein I, the Lord, justified my servants. Now they're claiming that this is July 12th, 1843. This is the, this is the scandal with Sidney Rigdon's daughter. That got published in the Nauvoo Expositor, I believe it was. And everybody thinks it's true, and we have to believe when a woman says stuff. She didn't write it. Somebody else framed and blamed her because she's an apostate, anti-Mormon, anti-Christ, apostate, Korahor, along with her daddy. And that's why they did it. Because they refused to be true Mormons like other Mormons from 1838. All those who refused to be true Mormons were attacked, poisoned, murdered, destroyed, threatened, stolen from, sexually abused. It's what the Danites do to prove the church is true. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, as also Moses, David, and Solomon, my servants. And so this is where we learn the big bombshell revelation that Isaac was a polygamist. Many people, even Christians and nevermos, didn't even realize that Moses was a polygamist. That Ethiopian wife. Nevertheless, my servants, as touching the principle and doctrine of having many wives and concubines, ex-foes, and even nevermos who likewise did this, and it's the Tanners. The Tanners were the originals. Everybody else believed what they said, and they're stealing their words without giving them credit for it. Right, Jeremy Reynolds? Right, John Dehlin? Right, Zelf on the Shelf? Quit circulating what the Tanners got incorrect. Yes, the documents are legitimate, but their interpretation of their Christian Utah Lighthouse ministry is wrong. And so yes, I had to have this discussion with Mormon discussions. He assumed I was Mormon, trying to protect the church. And I had to explain to him, as an ex-foe, never-mo, apostate, anti-Mormon, antichrist, Korahor, the guy, you have to tell the truth about the church. Yeah, it's real cool and funny to lie and get them triggered. But the church then claims religious freedom. They go, oh, you lied. Yeah, we're true. Nah. Exactly as Jasmine exposes here. Just as the church, after September 6th, publicly released. Yeah, we told you the whole time it was the gift and power of God. It's just a rock and a hat now. These were other Mormons, artists, who assumed he was looking directly at the plates to make a translation. But they won't tell you the truth. Still, allowing you to know that, sure, okay, Martin Harris was the source for the rock and a hat claim. Oops, they don't tell you that? That salamander did a lot of damage, didn't it? And so now, in the Saints book, which she didn't even talk about that, other ex-foe nevermos have been spreading the word. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints now confesses that Jesus Christ has authorized adultery. We have to have that as the title. Bring over more stuff to this computer. Stop it! Come on, Trump, hurry up with Armageddon. Oh my God. And so she's only claiming John Taylor, which was also put in the Saints volume, and that's how she found it, and calls the Saints volume responsibly and well. And another thing she is also clueless about is Nelson's change to the law of chastity, not marriage, that we're now supposed to be practicing polygamy. Notice it's the year before the test run. Just in case the test run works so bigly. Oh dear God. Little Sister Jessica has no clue what bombshells she unleashed on the world. The ripple effects to silence me even more severely this year. All thanks to her. Wow. Let us continue. Because X-Folk, they know about the Book of Mormon, specifically saying David was wrong. Solomon was wrong. In certain cases. And so, yeah, obviously the Book of Mormon is alluding to Bathsheba. You can't murder the husband to cover up the pregnancy. Even Brigham Young makes that very clear. Murder is the only exception. But if you redefine murder and say it was self-defense, they were unarmed. They were in custody at the jail. And how did they get shot? Well, they were a threat. Sim Gill, can you explain this? Yeah, cops are innocent. Let them go. Clearly, he was a threat. You know, in Utah, you don't have to put your knee on the neck of an innocent, unarmed, in custody person. You just shoot them. Sim Gill will let you go. Because you're a cop. And we'll make a statue in your honor. Behold, and lo, I am the Lord thy God, and will answer thee as touching this matter. Therefore, prepare thy heart, thine heart. Brigham should have had an editor. To receive and obey the instructions which I am about to give unto you. For all those who have this law revealed unto them must obey the same. For behold, I reveal unto you a new and an everlasting covenant. Section 131 in brackets. And if you abide not that covenant, then are ye damned. You swore! It's a scripture word. For no one can reject this covenant and be permitted to enter into my glory. For all who will have a blessing at my hands shall abide the law which was appointed for that blessing, and the conditions thereof, as were instituted from before the foundation of the world with Adam and his wives, bringing Eve into the garden with him, being Heavenly Father. Came back to earth from the planet Kolob to his 14-year-old daughter during the Roman period time and raped her, forced her to have the baby, no abortions allowed. To give birth to rape baby Jesus, our Savior. Oops, Jesus got deported. He obtained his birthright citizenship illegally from an illegal alien. Lock him up. I really should use that for a thumbnail picture and a title of the video too someday. I need to do it pretty quick. I've missed out on that. And he just keeps on going, making it very clear polygamy is the law. And I've warned you, his section 119 is setting all this up. This is what he's referring to in verse 6 of section 119. That my judgments and my statutes may be kept thereon, that it may be most holy. Behold, verily I say unto you, it shall not be a land of Zion for you if you do not observe this law, if you do not keep it holy, and sanctify this land of Zion unto me with your payment of money. You must be obedient and loyal to this church. You must be a full tithe payer. You must be in bondage to Jesus. You must yoke yourself to Jesus. That's what Nelson means. And you never bother to read the scriptures to go, I don't see yoke yourself to Jesus. I see take upon yourself Jesus's yoke. You need to pay attention. You need to read. And you won't. And they took advantage of you because they sabotaged you. You are going to be deported from Utah. Just Cox needs to study his scriptures better. Being a fourth descendant of a Danite in 1838 is not good enough. So, yeah, this is not the Trump ICE video that I had intended. This is another video from this. So we can include Alyssa on this, I think. It's at the end. You know, I might refer to all of this stuff in the Trump ICE video that I still have to do today. The whole day is shot. Bleep you, YouTube. And the Mormon down in Utah County. Bleep you all. And bleep you, Bill, for being a truther for the 700th episode. All right. Okay, so then we don't need to go over any of this stuff. See, Alyssa, she's quitting the church, or she's quitting. I didn't watch the video. I just saw her thumbnail picture and her title. Alyssa is quitting. She's converting everybody back into the church. Millions of converts through Alyssa. It was all a missionary trap. Pretending to be an anti-Mormon, antichrist, apostate, coral whore. Getting so many popular favorites. So many views. Everybody loves her. Everybody trusts her church news, history, information. And then to come out and say, I was wrong, I'm going back to church, join me. Exmo Lex pulled that stunt for April Fool's Day. Yeah, that would be a massive shock for Alyssa, who gets millions of views. For all her followers to go, what? What? I'm sure they would be far more angrier with her than Christians were of Bishop Baker. Oh, you don't know about him? He's been gone for too long? Yeah, back in the early days, when very beginning, 2015, 16, 17, Bishop Baker had read the church's release of the Gospel Topics Essays. Gospel Topic Essays, whatever. And reading them, that's when he found out the church confessed, yeah, rocking a hat. And so he's able to read and understand what he reads. The church confessed to lying. Oh, but now they're telling the truth. And he can't make the connection that this is the church's pattern of practice. Everybody remembers 1978, right? No? Jesus came out and confessed, I was a racist. No more. I'm stopping my racism. We're no longer racist. Rape baby Jesus. Illegal. Undocumented. Getting deported. Confesses that he's no longer racist. Can I combine these? And authorizes adultery. See what happens when you mess with me. The church gets pissed with you. But I still expect that Jasmine's bishop will be coming to her next week, having been notified by the Strengthening Church Members Committee for my video about her video. Asking her to take it down, or why do you bother coming to church? Which is what they did to me over my YouTube video about Adam fell found in the Egyptian documents. So no more church for me. Bleep you if you're going to go against Joseph in the Book of Mormon. Bleep you, Mormons. Bleep you for your hatred of the founder, for your hatred of the Book of Mormon. Bleep you. And that is the real moral of this story. That because of your hatred, refusing to read, refusing to be smart and put the pieces of the puzzle together, by running the test to gain intelligence, to gain knowledge, to know truth from error, from lies, that this is what you've become, ripened, ready for the burning. That is on the brink whenever Trump decides to pull the trigger. Shoot to thrill. Dear God, what does it take, Mormons? It takes Armageddon, I guess, for you to be compelled with a faith crisis because you were kicked out because of your poverty. Just like the Zoramites, just like they're threatening there in section 119. Oh my God, just hilarious. So now, do you understand the sign in the heavens for today yet? Do you? Do you?